where we do these monthly webinars, we thought this month it might be kind of fun to really have a little play at the Valentine's Day holiday, so as fitness operators. So hopefully for the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to encourage you to reach out with any questions that you have. You have a little, see that little hand graphic in your dashboard. If there's any questions that you have during the presentation, please be sure to just press that hand graphic, and then underneath that you'll see a little opportunity for asking questions, and at the end of the presentation I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. So one of the things we want to talk about today is that crazy little thing called love. Do your members love you? And really, what does it matter? And in the fitness industry, it's something that I believe, while it might feel a little bit trivial, is extraordinarily important for us as operators to really pay attention to. So let's talk for a little bit about what's love got to do with it. As an introduction, for those of you who don't know us, and I see many people on the webinar today that I personally haven't met, so I welcome you. We are the Retention People. We are an exclusive health and fitness industry firm focusing on member loyalty and retention. We sell a suite of software tools that integrate with your member management system. But additionally, too, I think we're some of the smartest people, and I'm not patting myself on the back. We have a team of tremendous professionals who truly understand the industry and truly understand the paradigm around building member retention and loyalty. Our business model is a pretty interesting one, and I like to start every webinar to give you guys a sense of where we come from. So we have a tremendous amount of industry insight. We're currently serving about 1,000 customers worldwide, and that means that at any given time we're able to tap into about 15 million active member records, and we do this anonymously. And this allows us to track trends in the industry. In fact, our member record database is the largest database in the industry today, active member database. So we've got some great opportunity to tap into data and generate insights from that. We're currently doing a North American member loyalty study, which many of you, I'm sure, have participated in. But if you haven't, at the end of this webinar, please feel free to take down my email address and shoot me an email. I'll be happy to show you how you folks can participate in our study as well. And we're currently doing a very interesting study in the UK called the TRP 10,000, where we're actually tracking over a long period of time the membership of 10,000 individuals across the UK who are members of health and fitness facilities. So it's a very cool study. If you're familiar with the Framingham Heart Study, it's a very similar study to that, where we're going to be tracking member adherence to their exercise. We're going to track their lifestyle changes, etc., over the course of a long period of time, and that's 10,000 people that we're tracking. We use our industry insight to develop our products, which are primarily our software suite, which is an extraordinarily successful suite that I think many of you are either using or interested in using. We do quite a bit of training. We train across North America and indeed around the world, and we also do quite a bit of consulting. Then we use all the information that we garner from our exposure in the industry to learn, to provide feedback, and to develop best practices. So we have a very cyclical type of business model. I start every single webinar that I do with this chart, partly because it allows us to really focus and create kind of a foundation of purpose around what we do. And this time I call the chart Falling in Love, Falling Out of Love. But it's a very, very simple diagram that shows really what is an extraordinarily concerning trend in our industry. And that trend in a nutshell is that after 12 months, 50% of members drop out. They leave our facilities. So we have a 50% turnover rate in 12 months. Extrapolate that, that means 100% of the members that join your club today will be gone in 24 months. It's an alarming statistic. We start by falling in love. We start at really point A, the first day that a member joins our facility. They're excited. We're excited to have them. We're falling in love. We're connected. We have single purpose. And then something very dramatic happens, and we begin to have this downward spiral, this downward trend. And clearly at 12 months, we see about 50% of those people that fell in love with us 12 months ago have left us. They file for divorce. We're no longer together. And then that trend continues. And when you look at a chart like this, there are two things that really stand out in a chart like this, and that is everything below this line, everything below this curve represents revenue for your facility. Everything above the curve represents opportunity. So anything that we can do relative to our retention and loyalty efforts to move this curve up, 3%, 5%, 7%, small gains, is going to add revenue because we're tapping into opportunity. But clearly we have an industry-wide problem. Many of you are addressing it. We address it every day with our customers. And we're really looking for ways where we can sustain that whole sense of falling in love with our members so that our members are committed to us, they stay with us, they look forward to seeing us, and hopefully they never leave. Our culture has been one that has focused largely on sales, finding new customers, and we've found ourselves on a 30-day cycle trying to come up with new ways, new schemes, new offers, new promotions to generate new members. And that's very often at the expense of how do we keep those members that we sell. Our objective as TRP and our customers' objectives is to grow this box. How do we create more procedures, more processes, really more cultural changes that allow us to keep customers over the long period of time? Selling is important. It really is. It's a critical component of our livelihood as fitness operators. But if we sell, then we have to retain. Then we have to create loyalty. We have to build a culture that keeps members for a long period of time. This fellow here is a real friend of TRP, a fellow named Frederick Reicheld. And those of you who are utilizing our Net Promoter Score product, Survey Plus, know him as the inventor of the Net Promoter Score. But he said something very, very interesting and I think very life-changing, certainly for me, in terms of really putting into perspective how we need to focus ourselves philosophically. And that is, he talks about retention as not being one more operating statistic. It is a central gauge that integrates all dimensions of a business and measures how well that firm is creating value for its customers. And when we say creating value, it's all about getting our customers to become falling in love with us, to really becoming fond of us, to seeing that their lives are essentially not complete without their health and fitness facility. Now, he could say that retention is not the operating statistic, it's sales or profits. But the fact of the matter is that when we focus on retention, a lot of things happen, and that is sales grow, profits grow, happiness grows, love grows. It's the single indicator for measuring sustainable growth in an organization. So please, if you do anything, commit that whole issue to memory. So today, let's talk about really 4 key things. First of all, we want to talk about who do you love? And this is really an opportunity to look at some examples from who I call the big boys. These are companies, Fortune 500 companies, that have really embraced the whole idea of building relationships with their members, building relationships with their customers, having long and enduring relationships that grow from day one to a point where their customers cannot live without their brands, without their products. Secondly, I want to focus on you had me at hello. The first point of contact in our business is the front desk. And for that reason, I think many of us need to be worried. Thirdly, I want to talk about it's not me, it's you. Any of us who've been involved in a breakup, we see this is a little twist on the old adage, it's not you, it's me. But now we really want to focus on the member. It's not us. It's not the club. It's what the member is going to experience from the club. So we want to talk a little bit about onboarding. And then additionally, too, love is more than skin deep. Attraction is more than skin deep. Beauty is more than skin deep. So what are those things that we want to measure, we really want to focus on as fitness professionals to show our customers, to show our members that, yes, change is happening and it's a positive, positive experience. So who do you love? You have me at hello. It's not me, it's you, and more than skin deep. Let's have some fun. So who do you love? Just think for a moment about the types of products and services that you find yourself not being able to do without. Many of these companies that are on the screen right now are companies that essentially have really embraced the whole concept of loving their customer. And I don't use love trivially. It's about commitment, and it's about deep commitment, where a customer literally cannot live their life without a particular brand or product. Not the least of which in this pantheon of companies that really embrace the customer is this company represented by this little Apple. And Apple is a company that really in many respects has become an exemplar of building a love relationship with their customers, where their customers cannot do without their Apple products, cannot do without their Apple service, and when they walk into the Apple store, they've walked into the Mecca. And they're in a place where the experience is exceptional and where they enjoy every moment of that experience. Imagine if our customers, if our members walked into our clubs and had that same kind of emotion where they were looking forward to being there, they were looking forward to speaking to us, they were looking forward to interacting within the programs and services that we offer. If we can become like Apple, if we can become like JetBlue, Zappos, Amazon, you name it, Starbucks even, if we can become like these businesses, then our retention problems go away. Focusing on loyalty, and loyalty really is the precursor to love, is something that has a tremendous impact on a business's sustainability and profits. So it's not just about that kind of heart feeling that, oh, I feel so good because I love you. It's about I love you, and as a result, you're generating revenue, profit, opportunity, and sustainability for our business. Within the context of luxury autos, look at this. Now, the blue bands represent companies that don't focus on loyalty. The yellow bands are companies that really have become leaders in focusing on customer loyalty. And when you look at the aggregated annual growth, and these are actually 2012 figures, we'll be getting our 2013 figures shortly, but these are actually 2012 figures, but they show a rather strong dichotomy between the growth of companies that don't focus on customers to the companies that do. And indeed, in this case here, we go from approximately a 5% annual growth to 30% annual growth. You look at mutual funds represented by many of the online brokerages that are out there that have really kind of gotten the message that focusing on the customer, giving them easy to use and intuitive tools to manage their investments, those are customers that are going to stay with you for a very, very long period of time. You look at companies like rental cars, where 30% annual growth is the standard for companies that focus on loyalty. Those companies that come to mind are companies like Enterprise and Avis. So think about what it is to focus on building loyalty among your members, but then also understand that that's not just something that's nice to do. In fact, if you want to be a profitable business, one that grows, one that has sustainability, and that can add locations and add members at will, then you really do need to focus on loyalty. And loyalty is indeed the precursor to falling in love in the fitness industry. So let's talk about you had me at hello. So when someone walks into the front door of your business, a couple of things that I think are pretty standard, pretty predictable, and that is a prospective member is not going to walk into your business unless they are absolutely interested in buying, unless they really have a predisposition to fitness at that moment. So when someone walks in, a new prospect, and walks up to the front desk, what kind of an interaction do we have? One of the things that we focus on as a company is the art of the interaction. How does the interaction make a difference? How does the interaction really move that prospect to becoming a new member and to investing in our business as they invest in their whole life and health and well-being? We certainly don't want to have this sign, do not knock or ring the bell without an appointment. We don't want that sign to be either real or perceived at the front desk. So when you think about the reception staff at your business, and very often fitness facilities look at the reception staff as really kind of the first rung of the ladder, and that's appropriate. It tends to be the point of entry for many employees within a business. But I would encourage you to think about 3 H's and 3 S's. And we're going to have 3 letters twice for each of these areas that we're going to talk about today. So today we have 3 H's and 3 S's. The first is handpicked. To what extent do you as an operator have influence over who is responsible for staffing your front desk, who's responsible for interacting not only with members but also with prospective members? I would strongly encourage you to immerse yourself into the process of identifying, hiring, and retaining reception staff members. It is not a trivial position. It's not one to be taken lightly, and it's one where it can really truly make a difference in your ability to not only sell new members but to retain members over time. The second H is highly motivated. If we don't project the fact that someone needs to be motivated when they're at the front desk of our facility, what is it that happens? What happens is we tend to have this passivity, this lethargy that tends to creep in, especially during hours where there may not be a large flow of prospects or members coming into the facility. But motivation is something that really does need to be at a very high level regardless of how many interactions that a staff member is having with a prospect or with a member. So motivation is absolutely critical. We want to make sure that our reception staff know what it is to have eye contact, know what it is to have a smile, know what it is to have a smile in their voice when they greet a prospect. And it's also very, very important, I think, that reception staff do what they can to know members by name. And then thirdly, and this is not something you can teach. It's something that people have to be born with. It's something that people have to have in their DNA. They have to be happy. You know, happiness is contagious, but so is unhappiness. So if I'm walking into my fitness facility and I'm greeted by a happy person who smiles at me and says, "Good to see you, Phil," what happens? That's contagious. It helps to fuel my visit at the facility. It fuels my workout. It makes me feel wanted and accepted. So those are our 3 H's: handpicked, highly motivated, happy. Let's talk about the 3 S's for a second. Smiling. Well, smiling is really, it's a byproduct of being happy, isn't it? Nothing works better when a new member or a prospect or a long-standing member walks into a facility. Nothing works better to embrace that member and let them know that they are really, really welcome at your facility without a smile. And yet so often we walk into any business where there's a service desk, a reception desk, but certainly it happens quite often within fitness facilities where when you walk in, if you get eye contact, getting a smile can often be a very, very difficult achievement indeed. So smile is important. Smile should be taught. Smile should be a requirement within your facilities when you are training your reception staff. Smile is a critical function of role plays when you're role playing your reception staff. For some people, it may not feel natural, and for those people for whom it doesn't feel natural at all, I would suggest that you question whether or not they should be on your reception desk. We are a smart industry. We are intelligent. We understand what it is to change lives. We're scientific, we're intuitive, we're artistic, we're creative, we're smart. And that smartness, if that's a word, really does need to be something that is apparent at the reception desk of your facility. So are you hiring smart people? And you know, smart doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting all A's in school. It really means that they understand the people-to-people interaction necessary at the front desk of your facility. And are they willing to embrace it? And then finally, are they supportive? And supportive, you know, the other term for supportive, are they empathetic? You know, people walk in from having a specific day, a type of day, whether it's a positive day, a neutral day, a negative day. They're coming into the facility and they're carrying emotions on their shoulders that have built up over the day. How do we support a member who's feeling a little bit distracted, a little bit tired, a little bit demotivated? You know, being supportive at the front desk is absolutely critical, because once we get a member past that front desk with that initial interaction, in many respects that tees up the entire fitness experience that member is going to have that day. So your reception staff is critical, and we want them to fall in love with our members at hello. It's not me, it's you. Let's talk about our sales staff for a moment. And I could go on for hours, and with many of you I've probably done it as we've had phone conversations and meetings and discussions. But the sales staff really truly needs to be a team that understands the altruism of the fitness business. The focus is not on the sales staff selling the next membership, generating the next commission, you know, adding the next sale to the monthly total. It's about focusing on the member, their needs, their requirements, really the gap that they're perceiving your club is going to fill for them. So it's not me, it's you. And getting our sales staff to really look outward as opposed to really dwelling inward about their own performance and compensation, etc., is very, very important. And I could give an entire webinar on sales staff compensation and motivation. And in fact, one of the things that we are going to talk about next month is really focusing on that whole sales paradigm, and how if we're going to be an industry that truly does embrace retention and loyalty, we really have to rethink our sales paradigm. But here are 3 C's that I would encourage you to focus on when you think about your sales staff. One is your sales staff compassionate? You know, compassion it's almost a lost art in the world today. People that are compassionate are people that truly feel another person's emotion, whether it's pain, whether it's joy, happiness. These are people that connect with other folks. So are they building a compassionate relationship with the new members that come into your facility and that put their money down and say, please, make me healthy, make me fit? Are they collaborative? Are they comfortable enough to collaborate with a new member, to make recommendations, to suggest that their experience in certain aspects of their health and well-being journey is something that a new member can learn from? Do they collaborate with new members, or do they simply see new members as a transaction? And once that transaction is complete, do they just move on to the next one? And thirdly, are they curious? You know, creating a connection with new members is very, very important when it comes to selling health and fitness and a health and fitness membership to an individual. Curiosity certainly needs to include What compelled you to do this today, this day of all days? What made you want to join a fitness club now? Why are you getting into the fitness game at this time? What are the triggers in your life that compelled you to say, you know what, it's time for me to get up off the couch, to get into the facility, and to begin to really pay attention to my life and to my well-being and to my health and to my fitness? So curiosity is a critical component of your sales staff. So those are our 3 C's. And then we have 3 E's. And these 3 E's really allow us to add energy, and that could actually be a 4th E, to the sales interaction. Are they engaging? You know, we have a tendency to pass forms across the desk and call that our sales process. These are our rates. These are our personal training programs, our personal training packages. Here are our group fitness schedules, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How engaging is that? Passing papers across a desk should be probably confined just to the bank. But when it comes to coming into your health and fitness facility and you're setting people on a path and a journey to health and well-being, you want to be engaged with them. You want to have that interaction with them that makes them feel like, you know what, you're part of the game as well as they are, and you're going to do what you can to help them get off on the right foot and to enjoy their fitness journey with you. Emotion is extremely important. We should never be afraid to show our emotion. We've all had people come into our facilities and come across the sales desk who are literally dealing with an emotional issue, and that's why they're in the facility. They might have had a diagnosis from the doctor that compels them to lose some weight. They might have had a friend or a family member end up in the hospital as a result of some sort of medical issue that could have been addressed through a lifestyle change. So having emotion, and that really does fall hand in hand with that first C, compassion, is very important. And it's a very important function of an exceptional salesperson. And then thirdly, excitement. You know, we're selling them the ride of their life. We're selling them something that's a turning point in their life's journey. And we should be excited that we're able to do that for people. We're not just selling someone a pair of shoes or a cup of coffee or a flight on an airplane. We're selling them a ticket to a healthy, energetic, and fundamentally exceptional life because they have become members of your fitness club. Let's get excited about it because it's important for new members to feel the excitement that, yes, you're a member of our club now and you're going to begin to really enjoy the benefits of your membership. So it's not me, it's you. Embrace those 3 C's, embrace those 3 E's, look at your sales staff, and really make an assessment. Are your sales staff delivering on these points? And if they're not, what can we do to move them to this level? Let's talk about our fitness staff for a minute. You know, as you all know, fitness goes far more than skin deep. In fact, what we see on the surface very often tells such a very, very small part of the story. And for those of you who are dealing with demographics where you're serving aging populations, etc., it's not about what you look like. It's not about that. It's about how you feel. It's about your outlook on life. It's about that energy that you have when you come out of the fitness facility and you've had a great workout or a great swim or a great session with a personal trainer. So your fitness staff really has to understand, you know, everyone is approaching fitness for specific objectives. Maybe they don't even clearly know those objectives, but the objectives are rarely for them to look like a model or to lose 50 pounds of fat or to do something that is really more something you see on the surface. It's about from the inside. It's about building from the inside. So here are 3 A's and 3 M's that I would suggest that you ask your fitness staff to embrace. Firstly, to ask. You know, the initial fitness evaluation, we have many, many programs in the industry on how to properly evaluate a member to get them set up on their program. You know, very often the member already knows what they want to do, and it's your responsibility and your fitness staff's responsibility to simply guide them to that program that's going to work best for them and to do it safely and effectively. So asking questions, being inquisitive is really, really important. Anticipating questions is also important, especially with a new member that comes in who perhaps hasn't been in a fitness facility for many months, if not for many years. Anticipating the questions that they have, anticipating the fears that they may be carrying with them, or the hesitancy that they're showing. You know, really being able to anticipate that and to respond in kind with very, very positive encouragement is very, very important. And then finally, to applaud a new member. You know, every new member that joins your facility should be congratulated for the decision. And that congratulations really does have to come on 2 points. One is they've made a big step. They've decided it's time for me to change my life. It's time for me to embrace health and well-being. And then secondly, they've chosen you to do it with. And that's where service comes in. That's where providing great counsel and great programs that allow members to have great experiences and see great progress in their fitness program. So applaud these new members. Let them know that what they're doing is a great, great thing. And then we have 3 M's. Fitness staff should be ready, willing, and able to mentor members. It's not just about encouraging. It's not just about showing a member how to use a particular piece of fitness equipment. It's really about becoming a mentor, becoming a role model. And that means that fitness staff really have to practice what they preach. And the majority do. But the practice and preaching has to be something that's in balance, because a new member may not look exactly like the fitness staff that's serving them. And a new member may look at a fitness staff member and say that I'll never look like that. But a fitness staff member has to understand and mentor that member and really set the appropriate goals for that member's experience and for the progress that they're going to make in their program. So mentoring is an extremely important skill that fitness staff need to have. They need to be motivational. And motivational isn't just about saying one more rep and let's do it and you can do it and sweat and sweat and sweat. Motivation is really about teaching a person how to dig deep inside and to pull out that energy and that inspiration that they have internally to really make a difference in their fitness program. Motivation is incredibly important. And then finally, I think the most important M of all is managing. We need to manage members' expectations. We don't need to set improper expectations that are simply going to doom a new member to failure. So when a member comes in with a specific level of expectation about joining a health and fitness facility, we need to manage that based upon our understanding of, essentially the human element, the human psyche, and making sure that their expectations are managed so that their motivation stays very strong. So it really does go much more than skin deep when it comes to dealing with a member as a fitness staff person. We are a service industry. We are an industry that I believe needs to embrace every person that comes into our facility as someone who is going to be a regular attendee, someone who truly wants to be in our clubs. And when I see a quote like this that is actually attributed to an operator within this health and fitness industry, it tells me that there's a real dichotomy that is growing, quite frankly, in the health and fitness industry. And that dichotomy is separated by one very, very important point, and that is, do we want people to pay and play, or do we want people to pay and stay? And paying and staying means staying home. We want our members to show up, don't we? So make sure that when we sell them our fitness memberships, that they understand it's not just about us charging their debit account or their credit card on a monthly basis. It's about us encouraging them to come in to visit. You know, our TRP method really preaches the fact that members need to visit a minimum of twice per week in order to be sustained members. You know, having them show up 0 times a week, once a week, etc., or to look at a new customer simply as an EFT transaction is not the way to go. We want our best customers to really do a number of things that encourage them and require them to be part of our facilities. We want them to enjoy their experience. We want them to recommend us to other people. We want them to visit frequently, to use every aspect of our facilities. You know, we are really very much a theme park when it comes to health and fitness. There are many ways that they can engage with us to improve their health and well-being. So we definitely want our best customers to feel like they're welcome at any time. Let's get back to love. One of my favorite movies of all time is this movie Annie Hall that Woody Allen wrote and Diane Keaton co-starred. And you know, I love this quote. Love it's too weak a word for what I feel. I love you. You know, I loathe you. I love you. 2 F's. Yes, I have to invent. I do. Don't you think I do? And the fact of the matter is the emotion that we should feel every day as operators, really the gratitude that we should feel that we're able to open our doors up every day and welcome people into our facilities to help improve their lives, improve everything about their lives, their family, their work, etc. Those are things that really not many businesses have the opportunity to do. So is love too weak a word? Well, let's start with love. But let's really feel that emotion with our members that that really say, you know, we can't live without them, and they can't live without us. When we talk about love, we talk about commitment. And commitment is a very, very critical aspect to not only attracting members, but retaining members over the long period of time. And there's this real hierarchy of commitment. It's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And at the bottom of this commitment pyramid, and we see the majority of people, especially people that you know, might join a fitness facility but might not necessarily have that level of commitment that's going to have staying power. These are people that say, I won't do it. I will influence others not to do it. So these are people that are non-committal. Then the next level are people that complain. And these are people that typically join your club, but they don't show a lot of, shall we say, excitement and commitment when they come into the facility. And when they're making their visits, they're not necessarily looking forward to it. In fact, it might be a distraction or an interruption. These are the people that for whom when the alarm goes off at 6 a.m., they hit the snooze button. And they think, well, why should I do it? And they don't feel that level of commitment. And then there's that next group that comply. You know, maybe it's doctor's orders. Maybe it's really that sense of, you know, my spouse has been telling me I truly need to get on the track of health and well-being. You know, complying means I have to do it, but their heart may not be into it. And then finally, we want to look at the committed person, someone who says, you know, I will do it, I want to do it, and in fact, I will lead others to do it as well. You know, and a committed member is a member that not only attends more frequently and stays longer, but also encourages other people to commit themselves to health and well-being. And like a pyramid, we have a lot fewer people at the top of the pyramid than at the bottom of the pyramid. So how do we move these types of members up the level of commitment to the top of the hierarchy, where they're absolutely committed to it, where it has really become something that is cemented and really a critical part of their lives. We want to gain commitment, not contempt, from our members. And here are a number of things that I would encourage you to pay attention to. Really focusing on those new member jitters. And this is all part and parcel with that front desk experience, the selling experience, and certainly the fitness experience. Gaining that commitment when a member is nervous about giving the commitment is important. Selling personal training, very, very important point. We often sell it at a point where members aren't ready to buy, which is typically at the point of initial sale. It's important for you to think about when is the most important time and the best time to sell these ancillary revenues. And is it at the point of sale? I don't think so. And I'll be happy to have a connection and a discussion with any of you on that topic. We want to track visits. Make sure that if a member has been visiting your facility frequently, if there's a change in that visit frequency, we need to show concern, compassion, and reach out to that member and say, hey, what's going on? Accountability is critical. Accountability in a love relationship, in a marriage, is really the glue that holds any particular relationship together. And it's very similar in their relationship with their health and fitness facility. So holding members accountable, we shouldn't feel at all hesitant to do so, because I think deep down in their hearts of hearts, they want us to hold them accountable. They want us to push them and to really affect change in their lives. Do we correct bad behaviors before they cause problems? Bad behaviors like cutting a workout short, or like getting habitual in a workout. And you know the members that come in and they go through the same motions every single workout. They go to a particular treadmill, they stretch on a particular mat, they don't necessarily mix up their workouts, they don't use group fitness. These are all bad behaviors that can cause problems in the long run, because these can create bored and lethargic members that will eventually leave your facility. And then finally, have a love relationship across all departments with your members. Embrace the member, whether you're at the front desk or the maintenance staff or the general manager. Really, we are a people business, and people need to feel connected with everybody with whom they come in contact within your facility. And then finally, we want to fall in love. And it's really not this sticky, sweet emotion, is it? It's really about having love become something that generates sustainability with a member and helps to build your revenue over a long period of time generated from that particular member. Additionally, we want to make sure that we do a number of other things in terms of gaining commitment. Committing to success, those members have to hold up that end of the bargain. And as I mentioned, we need to have a minimum of twice per week visit frequency, at least for the first 8 weeks. We want to congratulate compliance. So when a member is sticking to their fitness facility, we need to reinforce that. And when a member is sliding, we need to kind of de-enforce that. We want to make sure that members who are sliding away from us come back into the fold. And again, this mind share, not pocket share point really focuses on when's the appropriate time to begin to try to sell a member more goods and services. If we get mind share first, if we get a member connected and really glued in to our facility, the pocket share will come. So gaining that commitment means that eventually we're going to generate more dollars from that member. Effective communication. Well, there are so many different ways to do it, and here are just some of the things that we recommend as consultants to the industry. The front desk sets the stage in communication. We want to communicate but not over-communicate. A member is there not to necessarily have a long, drawn-out conversation. A member is there to have an experience that allows them to pursue their fitness goals. I also like this term, delightful communications. Things that surprise a member, saying thank you for their business, thank you for really picking your facility out of all the competition in your marketplace. Send them a birthday text message, when they're celebrating a birthday, if their phone beeps and it's their club saying happy birthday, those are the sorts of things that really can delight a member, and it's going to make them talk about their club outside the club. Smile and dial. Anytime you have a member who has an issue, pick up the phone. Emails are great as a means of communication, but there's certainly, when a member has an issue with your business, that's not the time to email a member. It's the time for them to hear a warm, caring voice on the other end of the phone, even if it is a voicemail message. And then this term MBWA. As general managers, as owners, as operators, management by walking around is the best management technique you can possibly have. The best way to stay in touch with your members, the best way for your members to fall in love with you and your facility is by spending enough time on the floor, in the classes, in the different aspects and opportunities within your facility, so that members see you, they understand that you're there for them, and that you can identify those issues that need to be addressed and corrected. Management by walking around, MBWA. Tony Hsieh is a fellow that started a business that sold shoes over the internet. It's now grown to a multi-billion-dollar company selling anything from A to Z, all sorts of shoes, clothing, you name it, merchandise, and this is Zappos. And Tony Hsieh has a very, very strong emotional attachment to the word culture. And I love this, this quote from him. Commit this to memory. For individuals, character is a destiny. We are all judged by the character that we bring to our relationships. But for an organization, it's culture. You know, think about the culture of your club. Do you have a culture? When people become part of your organization, when people become employees in your organization, do they feel like they're just joining a job, or are they actually part of a culture? So that's Tony Hsieh. And definitely reading some of the books that he's written, or seeing some of the presentations, TED Talks, etc., that Tony Hsieh has delivered are very, very important and encouraging opportunities. So we want you to engage with your members, to fall in love with them every day. And the products that we sell allow you to really stay on top of really managing that member relationship, to improve the member experience, to promote customer loyalty, and to increase your income, which is all important, because without solid increases of income, you're going to be a failed business. And you do that by improving member retention and increasing referrals. And we have a full suite of products available to you. And if you reach out to me, I'll be happy to set up a presentation. My partner, Sophie Adams, is actually on the webinar listening today, and she'll be happy to connect with you and give you a deep dive into the products and services that TRP offers, and also to give you the opportunity to take advantage of some of our current offers as we gear up, get ready for the big URSA convention next month. We're really pricing our products very appropriately, so that there's no excuse from a financial standpoint for you to take advantage of our expertise in member retention and member loyalty. So we have this online retention and loyalty pack that is available, and it integrates in real time with your member management system, tremendously powerful tools. And then we also have a sales and retention pack that really focuses on how do we interact with our members on a day in and day out basis within our facilities. I would suggest that you have a sense of urgency in all that you do, and especially as you begin to shift your paradigm, shift your culture from one that is clearly focused just on sales to one that is focused in a balance on sales, retention, and loyalty. And I call to mind a quote by this very, very famous individual, who's Leonard Bernstein, one of the great conductors and composers, American conductor and composer of the 20th century, where he says, to achieve great things, two things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time. We can help you with the plan, you need to have a sense of urgency that that plan has to happen now. Members are quitting your facility today. Members are not coming in today. They're deciding to hit that snooze button tomorrow morning. There's a reason why that's happening, and that's all lost opportunity and ultimately lost revenue. Have a sense of urgency about attracting new members and about keeping members longer. So that's Leonard Bernstein. We offer sustained involvement and support, and here's just a quick summary of some of the things that we're getting involved in over the next little while. We will be at URSA 2014. Looking forward to seeing all of you in San Diego. We have a booth. We're participating in a roundtable discussion or a panel discussion. We have a presentation on March 15th, which is Saturday morning. We also have loyalty and retention summits that we conduct around the country, and our next summit is in April with the Mid-Atlantic Club Managers Association, MACMA. So we're looking forward to a fruitful day with them at Big Vanilla in Pasadena, Maryland. We also have a number of research articles available to you at no charge on the retentionpeople.com. We have a new webinar coming up next month, so put this in your book, March 20th, 2014. And then most importantly, write down my email address, write down my phone number. I answer my phone. I love to talk to operators, and I love to help you retain members, keep them loyal, and really to fall in love with those members again and again. So that's the end of my presentation. If any of you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now. Otherwise, it'll be good to see you in San Diego next month, and I hope you have a great rest of the month. And as we get toward the end of the shortest month of the year, February, I hope you have a great sales month as well. So thanks again for attending. We have recorded this session, so if any of you want to share this session with other individuals in the organization, please feel free to reach out, and we'll get you a recording of it. Have a great afternoon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.